Hi, tonight we're going to talk about spiritual maturity. The journey towards spiritual maturity is not about age, but evolution, because all the answers lie within, so they are always there, but we still learn to walk by stumbling. If someone holds our hand, then we have to learn to walk on our own and realize our inner strength and self-worth. Spiritual maturity is not reached with the passing of time, but by pulling the curtains back to see the truth. We need to get past the basic elements of life and advance to consciousness, because in the basic elements, we go from complete to incomplete, to sinner from good to bad. They all are in consciousness, positive and negative, as parts of the whole. So in consciousness, we find a state of being with all the different parts, united and one. This unity of all the parts is spiritual maturity, which is revealed in how we respond to others who are inexperienced, offensive, and weak. Spiritual maturity is the experience of living every minute with unity, grace, and the love that they bring. This happiness doesn't proceed from travel, can't be purchased, worn, earned, or acquired, but is experienced in consciousness. Deepak Chopra says, "It helps if you remember that everyone is doing their best from their level of consciousness." Eckhart Tolle says, "Whenever you step out of the noise of thinking, that is meditation, and a different state of consciousness arises." Amit Ray says, "Enjoy the limitless bliss, consciousness, here and now. The reality of you lies much beyond your sensory perceptions and boundaries." Through spiritual maturity, we see new methods and courses of action to avoid suffering. One way to get around suffering and to endure our hardships is with a sense of humor, as a part of our spiritual practice. Living and laughing with life is a good medicine that is healthy for our immune system, feelings, and attitude, so our spirit can shine through the sappiness. It changes our mood, diminishes our pain, and protects us from stress as it elevates our endorphins, liberated by the brain as we walk the tightrope of life. It helps us to balance as it lightens our sense of being when overloaded, releasing our anger so we can forgive easily. Without a sense of humor, we are bumped and joggled by every bump in the road. And if our car has no shock absorbers, then it's even worse. Osho said, "A sense of humor makes you more human, more humble. The sense of humor is one of the most essential parts of religiousness. A religious person who cannot laugh fully is not truly religious." Jesus had a sense of humor. He said, "Why do you notice the splinter in your brother's eye, but do not see the wooden beam in your own eye?" Another saying of his goes, "It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven." The Quran also has humor. "Trust in God, but tie up your camel." Rumi, a Sufi, was very humorous. He said, "Love sometimes wants to do to us a great favor, hold us upside down and shake all the nonsense out." He also said, "If you are irritated by every rub, how will your mirror be polished?" Another Rumi saying is, "If you desire healing, let yourself fall ill." When we are spiritually mature, There is an inner sense of calmness because we have freed ourselves from the waves breaking on the surface. Maturity is a little deeper than the waves, so there is no confusion from the waves breaking, but just peace and love. We all get pinned down from the surf breaking on shore, but with maturity we learn to surf the curl of the wave and release our problems. This joy makes room for us to find a solution because we are observing the ride, the break, the sounds, the exhilaration of being free. We are not making or forcing the ride, just allowing everything to flow into a rhythm of energy. The deeper we are in the flow, in the present moment, the quicker solutions come. It is a natural awakening to the here and now. But rough waters can knock us off our soul, so the ego comes back. The mature spiritual people are not affected as they ride the physical and mental chaos until peace once again appears. Paramahansa Yogananda said, if you permit your thoughts to dwell on evil, you yourself will become ugly. Look only for the good in everything, so you absorb the quality of beauty. Maturity is understanding and empathy. As Thich Nhat Hanh said, when you plant lettuce, if it does not grow well, you don't blame the lettuce. You look for reasons it is not doing well. It may need fertilizer or more water or less sun. You never blame the lettuce. Yet, if we have problems with friends or family, we blame the other person. But if we know how to take care of them, they will grow well, like the lettuce. Blaming has no positive effect at all, nor does trying to persuade, using reason and argument. That is my experience. No blame, no reasoning, no argument, just understanding. If you understand and you show that you understand, you can love and the situation will change. Maturity is when we find out that our truth is not complete, so we need to change and adjust by letting go of what we have collected mentally about ourselves. We adapt an effective way of living and being that is specific to our lives, so we can align and change with the energy around us. Maturity is not about other people, because it is about our potential to put up with the situations and people around us. We can allow people to be themselves, whether it is shady or they want to let us down. But the trick is we don't go down to their level. We all have and make choices, and we all learn from the consequences. Sooner or later, maturity is realizing the impact of our attitude in life. And realizing attitude is the only thing we control because we can't change others or the unavoidable. Jane Austen said, self-knowledge is the first step to maturity. Stephen Covey says, independent will is our capacity to act. It gives us the power to transcend our paradigms, to swim upstream, to rewrite our scripts, to act based on principle rather than reacting based on emotion of circumstance. Byron Katie says, we don't mature through age, we mature in awareness. Thank you.